today, we're going to leave the humdrum of the daily grind of the office aircraft sales business and go to Reno Stead, where for me it'll be like Christmas morning, because we're going to look around the L29 Czechoslovakian military trainer jet that I've bought to have raced at Reno. So let's jump in the Mooney and head over the Sierras and see what that's all about, because I haven't seen it yet.
Go there, Bob.
Hey, how'd you do that?
I had a good friend show me how to do a hot start on the Mooney. So every time I do that now, it just starts.
Placerville traffic, Mooney 90157 Foxtrot, taking runway 5 for departure.
Why does it say Turbo Centurion?
Just what was programmed into it. I never took it out.
Has it always said that?
Yes.
Oh.
Flaps. Yes.
Side. I think I see it. So here we are, Reno Stead, where the Reno Air Races used to be. Even the stadium's gone. The whole stadium arena thing has been taken down. And there's the remnants of the race hangars. And this plane is in of this hangar. And this is me seeing it for the first time. And I own it already. It's Bob.
Morning, Mark.
I found you.
It's good to see you, brother.
And you. So there she is.
Absolutely.
Should I be nervous?
Absolutely not.
Oh yeah, check it out. A race proven L19.
L29, yes.
L29, sorry.
Correct.
Yes, L19 is a bird dog.
Correct.
Wow, okay. I mean, I literally know nothing about this.
Well, she was made in 1965 in Czechoslovakia for the Soviet Air Force. And she started out life as a reconnaissance model, very, very rare.
Oh yeah.
Much lighter than other L29s. And originally, the back seat did not have controls in them.
Oh.
So the reconnaissance operator didn't need to fly the airplane.
I'm going to need that.
Yes, it has a full set of operational controls. Underneath the fuselage were the cameras, right under here. And the nose was different. It had a more rounded nose that has 4 quick disconnects and has a glassed hole in it so that it could film through it.
This bit?
Yes, that nose cone. Underneath that pointed cone is an actual reconnaissance model nose.
Oh.
When they put this transonic nose cone on it, all they did was put the appropriate amount of glue and put it on top of the...
Is it just glued on?
It's just glued on, so it can come off. And if you really wanted to put it back to original, I have a brand new reconnaissance model nose.
We could put a camera in the front.
You can put a camera in the front.
That'd be
It's only held on by 4 quick disconnect, like Zeus fasteners.
Wow. Okay.
The airplane has been lightened significantly for enjoyment, performance, and racing. And
You've raced this before?
I have not raced this one. I've raced against it.
Ah.
And I have beaten it, and I have been beaten by it.
Oh, good.
So
there's a chance.
Yes. No, it's when we go to Roswell this year, as of current registrations, there are only going to be 4 stock L29s. And that means that in order to make a race, they need 5. So they're probably going to put some kind of faster airplane in it. And There's no way an L29 can beat an L39.
Is there going to be an L39 in with these?
Most likely, it's either that or there's a L29 with a Rolls-Royce Viper engine that's been, and that, you know, depending on what its performance is, it may get put in.
If it's Rolls-Royce, we're probably going to lose.
We can't defend against that.
No. So we'll just have to bet on the fastest L29.
Stock L29, correct. Yeah. Our other airplane, Race 1, is going to do very well.
Good.
And based on current, there's only 4 L39s registered, 4 L29 stock airplanes registered, and ours, which is a Pratt & Whitney J60 GT12 high power engine, will do very, very well.
Even against an L39?
It'll eat the L39's lunch.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that's in the gold, that's yours.
Yes.
This is in the silver.
Yes.
Okay.
This, depending on how everything fleshes out, if anybody doesn't do anything weird to their airplanes, this should come in second in silver.
Cut. Okay, Bob's showing me how to make sure the canopy is closed, because these can open.
Yes. Okay, this lever opens the canopy. So when the canopy is all the way closed, you pull on this left-hand lever from your perspective, and it opens. That's all it does. And that lever is close only. And when you close it, go ahead and close it. Okay. Now you see that the canopy is fully closed and locked, and it's not going to come open. So you have...
What's that white knob?
That is the canopy seal inflation knob.
Okay.
Behind your head, there's a small bottle of nitrogen that is plumbed to the canopy seal.
Okay.
And when you move this lever, it inflates the canopy seal so the airplane can pressurize. And the airplane can fly all the way up to 37,000 feet if you wanted to. I don't recommend it.
No.
So go ahead and open the canopy. And now it's locked. In order to get it out, you'll have to move that. Also, if it stops at some intermediate point, you may have to pull this little pin out.
Oh, I see.
As another means to
because it's
undo
gone
it.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll lock at intermediate places. You're in the back seat, and if you ever ride back here, you don't want to play with any of the switches, because in other worlds, in a regular L29, the instructor sat in the back seat, and he had the ability to override some of the things the student was able to do or was able to see. In fact, he was able to make it so that the landing gear doesn't come down. So he could push a switch here and the landing gear wouldn't come down. So he could make sure that the student is checking the landing gear.
Okay, yeah.
He had the ability to turn off different instruments so that the student would learn partial panel flying. You have a Garmin G5 there, and it's all self-contained. For weight savings, the previous owner removed all the other instruments. So again, the airplane is very light. That knob down there is your rudder pedal adjustment. So you put your feet on the rudder pedals and you pull out on that knob, and you can put the rudder pedals at wherever point of comfort you like.
Nice. And the brakes
That handle.
is this.
And don't move them too much because the instructor actually overrides the students. And so if that one gets pulled when there's nitrogen in the system, it locks out the one in the front, and we really want the one in the front to work.
Okay.
That's important. Down on this side, you have a throttle.
The go lever.
Yes. And the orange lever next to it is the basically the start fuel lever. And also, this airplane, when it starts, it's pretty unique. I'm pretty sure that the engine that's in this airplane is a license-built version of the Frank Whittle engine. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. A British engineer from the 1930s who basically developed the first turbojet engine. And if this isn't an exact duplicate, it's very, very close to it. But that shows you how old the technology is.
Yeah.
When you start, there's a start button that gets pushed, and it starts the start sequence. As soon as you get 10% RPM, take that orange lever, but we won't move it, and push that all the way forward.
That puts fuel in there.
That puts fuel in there, and it activates the start sequence, which is all automatic. But when you look at the start box, it's so robust that it's gears and things like that that make a start sequence. So it's all orchestrated and at the appropriate timing, so it's all automatic. Once the engine light-off occurs, you'll hear the engine RPM increase. You'll watch the RPM in the front seat and the EGT in the front seat. The EGT limit is 700 degrees if you're using external power and 750 degrees if you're using just battery. But you don't want it to go over 700. So the way you stop the rise in temperature is you pull back that orange lever from the full forward position slightly.
And that's just reducing the fuel.
It's reducing the fuel, so it's slowing down the application of fuel. And if you were to look at the EGT gauge, its rate of increase would slow down. So you're trying to keep it below 700.
And what makes it stay then? Once it's started and stabilized, why is it staying below?
Once it reaches about 40% RPM, that's the stabilized idle. And now it switches from a start sequence to normal engine operation.
Okay.
So once it's stabilized at 40%, you want the start lever all the way forward, and the engine is fully done.
So if it's getting hot, you pull back a bit.
Yes. You don't
let it stabilize, and then
you don't want to pull it back too much. So you pull it back too much, it'll shut the engine down.
Okay.
So it's the very first time I did it, we had to pull it back, and it was a nothing. It's a very simple process. Mm-hmm. When we go fly together, we'll go through it several times. Once the engine is started, we'll turn on all the switches in the front cockpit. This is a good time to brake here, and we'll
look at the front.
Switch to the front cockpit.
Where there's more action. Okay.
Okay, Mark. This is the cockpit of your new jet.
The front. The
front
action.
Cockpit.
Yeah.
We'll focus on this panel here. The top left switch is the battery switch.
Okay.
And the next switch is the generator switch. The one with the red switch on it is your fuel/engine switch. So in order to start the airplane, you have to have two things. You have to have the battery on, and you have to have the engine fuel switch on. So once those two switches are on, the engine can start. And the other switches are for power for the cockpit systems, avionics, lighting, the ADS-B, and the radio intercom. You have a radio stack down there. It's very well equipped.
Nice. Garmin audio panel, Garmin transponder, King DME, King Com, not King Kong, King Com, 155, 165. 430 and an EFIS.
Yes, so it's very good.
What's that?
That is your landing gear, and I'm going to tell you a varsity level question right now. When I was given my type ride, the evaluator asked me, "Does the L29 have protection against inadvertently bringing the gear up on the ground?" And I thought about it and I said, I don't exactly know the answer to that question, but since they put the red guard on the up portion, I would say that it does not have protection, which means that if you were to select the gear up on the ground, which you don't want to do, the gear would retract.
It would.
And so
No squat switches.
no squat switches. So there's no protection against buffoonery from the pilot.
Okay.
So let's not do that.
All right.
So, which the orange switch there is the gear up switch. So this does not have a handle. This has switches for most of your functions, as do most of the Soviet airplanes. The L-39 was very similar, except it actually had a handle. But to put the gear up, once you're airborne and climbing away from the ground, you raise that guard and push that button.
Or you just push the button.
You just push the button in and then let it go.
All right.
Remember I talked to you before about the hydraulic circuits, that you have the landing gear, you have the flaps, and you have the speed brakes. They can only operate one at a time. Right. It has a very rudimentary hydraulic system, and if you try and bring the gear up and the flaps up at the same time, it won't do it.
Not enough pressure.
Well, no, it's got enough pressure. It just won't. It's only going to send it one place.
Oh, okay.
So whichever one you selected first is what's going to get the attention. The rest of it is not going to.
One at a time, okay.
So what you want to do is, you're not in a hurry. You want to get the gear up. So you get airborne, you select gear up, and then you watch the little barber pole on the nose and on the wings retract. You'll see the green lights from the gear right here. There'll be green lights on the gear. Those will go out, and as the gear will retract, when they come all the way to the top, these red lights will illuminate when the gear is up in the gear well.
Okay.
And once that's done, you'll know the gear sequence is complete, and then you can bring the flaps up.
Okay.
So the flaps are these switches here. The top switch is the flaps up. The middle switch is the half flaps, which is your takeoff flap condition. And the bottom one is full flaps, which is how you land. If you have the gear up and you select full flaps, the airplane will tell you in all certain terms that you have selected landing flaps without the landing gear down. And so this loud horn, which you cannot extinguish, will go off until you either put the gear down or you select half flaps or flaps up.
Okay.
So it's trying to tell you that you're doing something that you don't want to do.
Okay.
Notice the clock. I think the clock is probably the most valuable
I saw that.
item.
That was in a 182 once, one of those.
Yeah, it's a fabulous clock. They all come with them, and they all get taken. If somebody's going to take something, they'll take those rather than the Garmin 430.
Right.
In this, let's go over and look at the throttle area. You notice it has the throttle, and it also has that start lever. On the far side of it is a guarded switch right here, which is the start switch. We won't push it, but when it's time to start the engine, after you have the battery and the fuel engine switch on, you lift that guard and you just push down for 2 seconds until you hear the engine starter begin. And you'll also hear some clicking as the igniters begin firing. Once you get to 10% RPM, again, you take this lever here and push it all the way forward. And that will begin the start sequence. Again, you will modulate that lever as necessary to keep the EGT below 700. And once the engine is stabilized at idle RPM about 40%, you will push it all the way forward and you're done. Then you go back to the electric panel, and all the switches that weren't on, you turn on. So you'll turn on
all of these.
All of them will be turned on. With the airplane, that is an American oxygen diluter demand panel. And you have oxygen bottles up the nose.
Under the hood?
Under the hood, so that you can fly this above 18,000 pressurized. You can fly all the way up to 28,000 feet without being RVSM capable, which we are not.
Right. And this is the trim here, right?
Yes, that is the trim lever.
Can I move it?
Yes. The airplane has two kinds of trims. It has that trim for just normal flying, take the pressure off. But also when you select the flaps down, there's a trim motor up in the horizontal vertical tail there that actually retrims this stabilator to damp out the effects of the flaps coming down.
Oh, so it doesn't pitch.
So it doesn't pitch.
Nice.
So it's a nice feature. If it ever fails, it doesn't work, it's not a big deal. You can still fly the airplane just fine. Thing that you're also interested in is when the airplane is pressurized, you need to depressurize the airplane before you open the canopy.
Yeah.
If you don't, the canopy inflation seals, you can see the bottom of the canopy there. You can see the black rubber underneath. That's inflated, and that will try and push the airplane up off its hinges.
They hit the canopy, yeah.
In flight, that's a good thing, because if you ever wanted to abandon the airplane, you just unlock it, and with the canopy seals inflated, it will just push it up off the hinges, and the canopy will go.
And hit the tail.
Well, we don't know where it's going to go.
Okay.
I think Isaac Newton, physics, and Mother Nature will determine where it goes.
Right.
So, anytime you open the canopy and you don't want to abandon the aircraft, always depressurize the cockpit.
Okay.
How do you do that? By your right hip, there's a lever along the sidewall. See that right there? And if you push it forward just a little bit, it inflates the canopy seals, and the further forward you push it, the more of the bleed air from the engine is vented into the pressure vessel of the aircraft, pressurizing it. And you have an instrument on your cockpit that will go over at a later point to make sure that the airplane is pressurized properly and not over-pressurized. The speed brakes. On your throttle, you have a switch right here, which is your speed brakes. The top switch is your microphone.
Well, this one.
That is a microphone.
Okay.
Let's push the top.
Oh, and then the speed brakes are under there. Okay.
Yes. And so if you pull it back, the speed brakes will extend. You push it forward, the speed brakes will close.
Any speed.
Any speed. You also have this button on the stick, and on most airplanes, I think this one does too. If you push that, the speed brakes will open while you have it pushed, and they will close when you let it go.
Oh, so like momentary use, just
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a trigger guard. There's actually supposed to be a trigger here on the stick, but it's not there. But this becomes your trigger, and
Nice.
as a reconnaissance airplane, you would use that to take video or photographs or movies, whatever cameras the airplane had in it.
And what's the white button on top, if that's covering it?
What's that?
What's that white button there?
I'm not sure.
Don't press it.
Yeah. It is not the ejection button.
Okay, good. I'm going to get out with these on.
Okay. I'll pull the ladder. We'll let you do it by...
We're going to observe the undignified exit of me getting out of a jet for the first time.
Remember the
grey lines.
Grey lines.
So these grey lines mark where I put my feet.
Yes. So your left leg out first.
It's like doing the hokey pokey.
And there you go. And your right one comes down here, and down you go.
Well, survived that. Brilliant. So we're going to do a quick lightning tour of the L29 to go over its features, anything I see sticking out or asking questions about, I'll just quickly ask Bob because he knows them inside out. Okay, what is this?
That's the service panel for your oxygen system and your nitrogen system.
Okay, and then this looks like it's trapped there. What's under there?
Under there is several things. Your aircraft battery is there, your oxygen bottles, and the shutoff for the nitrogen system so you can retain your nitrogen for as long as possible.
And that's there so that you, if you don't take that off and disarm that lockout, you got no brakes. What's this?
That is the light that lets somebody on the ground know that the nose gear is down and locked.
Okay.
So if you have electric power on, they can, if you fly by a tower, if that light is illuminated, the nose gear is down and locked.
And also this.
This bumper pole is a mechanical indicator for the exact same thing.
And you see it from the cockpit.
You can see it from the cockpit. So when you select gear up, that retracts down into the aircraft. When you extend the gear, that comes up, and once it's fully extended, you get the indication in the cockpit that the gear is down and locked.
Okay. And then these?
These are footsteps for getting into the aircraft.
With guidelines.
Yes. You have this foot and that foot.
And this?
That is the handle for unlocking and locking the forward canopy.
Which I've recently been checked out on.
Yes.
Another foothold?
Yes.
Okay. What's that?
That is the handle for operating the rear canopy opening and closing.
Okay. Two separate canopies. This one slides, that one lifts.
Like a clamshell.
And that's the engine, of course, but we're going to look at that separately. And then out on the wings, these poles.
Those are, again, indicators that the main gear is fully extended.
Is that easy to see from the front cockpit?
Yes and no.
Okay.
You have to turn your body and look over your shoulder, but it is visible from the cockpit.
Okay. And then why is there a patch here?
That's where the secondary pitot tube used to be. This aircraft is modified for racing, so they took off all unnecessary things, and a redundant heavy pitot tube which sticks into the relative wind is not something.
Where does it get its airspeed?
From the other pitot tube.
Oh, okay, good. There's two. Great.
Yes.
And the same reason the light's gone from the tip?
Correct.
Okay.
We don't care if anybody
Sees the light.
the visual light there.
Okay, what are all these, Bob?
Okay, the scoops are just basically to get more air into the engine bay to vent fumes.
Okay.
The little square is a panel you take off if you are going to remove the tail of the aircraft.
Oh.
There's a stand that wheels up under the tail here, lifts it up. You undo those, bolts at different places on the aircraft, and you can actually pull the entire tail of the aircraft off the airplane.
And the engine's left standing there?
For servicing the engine.
Okay. What's in there?
That is the receptacle for the external power.
Okay.
So if you have a standard US external power connector, you'd open that and plug it in, and then you can run the airplane off of electric. It's not the battery.
Okay. What's that?
More intakes. One's a
And here.
standard. That's a NACA one. That's another NACA one. It's just a panel for the engine bay.
Just accessing the
Yes.
engine. Speed brake?
A speed brake.
Is that always used?
You mean, is it on every airplane?
No, if you were landing it, do you always use it? Or is it an option?
It's optional.
Okay.
But there's no speed limit to open it. And it's got a very neat feature. The airplane has a limit, I believe, of 0.74 Mach. And if you start to exceed that, for whatever reason, the speed brakes will automatically extend to prevent you from exceeding the structural.
Why don't you want to go? Oh, because it's structural speed.
Yes.
Okay. VNE.
Yes.
Under there?
Just more access to the engine bay.
Okay. Same thing?
Yes.
What's in there?
That's where the exhaust comes out. Your airplane used to be part of a demonstration group called the Thunder Delphins. And that's why it says TD on the tail.
Oh, I was wondering about that.
So yours used to fly formation aerobatics
Okay.
and in this aircraft.
One of the speed brakes around here is out.
That's correct. And sometimes after it sits for a while, it will just come out. As soon as we start the engine and turn the appropriate switch on, it'll all close.
Okay.
It's very powerful.
And then this side is the same as the other
Virtually
side.
identical.
Yeah. But let's talk about the engine. Do you want to go around the front of the intake and then come around the back?
Certainly.
Okay. So one of the intakes, Bob, tell us about the engine.
The engine is a Czechoslovakian-built M701C turbojet engine. It produces about 1,900 pounds of thrust. It burns in cruise at about 150 gallons an hour and more at full power. The airplane holds 272 gallons, so you can do the math on
So don't go over an hour, much more than an hour.
if you want to land with a good reserve of fuel. The fuel gauge is in liters. So it holds 1,000 liters of fuel.
Okay.
Basically, for planning purposes, for every 100 liters, you can fly 10 minutes. So when you have 1,000, that's an hour and 40.
Right. So an hour is a good safety buffer. And that's the way you fill her up, right?
Yes. Underneath, you open that, and then there's a fuel cap that you close. And it's a very good, solid locking system.
So 2 intakes, and where does the actual front of the engine start? I mean, this is just taking in air, right?
Yes. Front of the engine is about where the canopy cover is, back there. And it's got a big, long tube behind it for the exhaust,
Oh, okay.
where it has little probes in it for reading the exhaust gas temperature.
What's the life of the engine? I mean, what's its TBO, as it would be?
By the factory, it's 500 hours.
How many has this got on it?
This has about 320 hours.
Okay.
But I dare anybody to fly that much in this airplane, to use that engine up. Also, the FAA has a program.
Well, meaning it will go beyond it, but no.
It'll go beyond it on a case-by-case basis. So for every 100 hours after you go beyond the TBO, it needs to have a borescope and an inspection.
And what are you looking for in that inspection?
You're looking for, in the burner cans, for just normal burn pattern. If it can get to the turbine blades, you check the quality of the turbine blades and check the front compressor blades for integrity.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Okay.
but these engines are very robust.
And they're not expensive, right?
No, when I bought my first airplane, it had over 400 hours in it, and so I put a zero-time one in it for $7,000.
What?
Yeah, zero-time engine.
When was that?
That was 2015.
Really? And what would it cost now to zero this?
About $17,000 would what a zero-time engine would cost.
17 grand.
17,000. And what they do is they take the old engine out, they take it up to Idaho or Montana and put it in front of a train locomotive, and they use it as a way to blow and melt the snow off the tracks on a run-out turbine engine.
Because it keeps going so long afterwards.
Yes, it's produces a lot of heat and
Wow.
a lot of thrust.
17 grand barely tops a Continental 550.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So you spend on gas, but you save on overhauls.
Yes, and the airplanes are, what was it, 206 have a...
520, 540, 550.
Okay, one of those. So how much is the engine worth in that airplane?
A good reman is going to be 80 installed, 70, 80 grand.
Okay. And that's about what what this whole airplane
Yeah,
costs.
90 grand.
Yeah.
So everybody thought I was really rich buying a jet. It costs less than a 172,
It does.
and we get to race with it.
My very first L29 I bought for $25,000, and it was a full-up airplane. Everything worked. It was brand new annual, and I raced it to third in the bronze my first year racing. So it.
Unlike a P-51, which is $3 million to $4 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the insurance,
Oh,
$80,000.
the propeller of a P-51 is worth the same as this plane.
Exactly.
Can you see why I bought it?
Absolutely. Well, and you got a heck of a deal too.
Thanks. Bob, thanks for showing us around the L29.
You're welcome.
Just a basic overview. I'm going to memorize a lot of the things that you've told me, and then you can check me out in it at least, or you can show me how it works, and then I get checked out by Larry. And this is Skywagon University. There's a subscription bar here, notification bell, and at skywagonuniversity.com we now have merchandise, hats, shirts, things like that. So have a look at that, and keep an eye on this website and on Plane Crazy Life, because this plane will be racing at Roswell with Bob in it on Plane Crazy Life with cameras inside the plane, a lot of other footage too. So thanks very much for watching, and keep it here.